very much sound like I sound like how you guys doing? I am very wow. I'll talk about just a little bit the documentary just for a couple of minutes, and then you guys will pass the mic around because my hearing as I was coming up in the day of having a good time, my eardrum is left beside that speaker that I was jacking it up with. Okay, so I'm very, you know, I don't know, it's very honored to be here with you guys. I wasn't going to do the interrupters. I was not going to allow Steve James to come down here. I wasn't gonna allow Steve James. You guys saw Hoop Dreams, right? There's an old documentary about the West Side basketball and all of that, right? You all saw that, right? So Steve James did Hoop Dreams. So Alex Koklowitz, as you all saw, the credits, and we would let him run, and we would be here until in the morning. But Alex Koklowitz, a New York Times writer, he made some good books, bestsellers. There Are No Children Left Here, and he did a lot of, you know, African American documentary books about social issues in Chicago. He wrote those down, and he did articles about that. So him and Steve were road dog buddy, homies, neighbors, kids went to school with each other. And so Steve read the piece, and he said, you know, they had already been talking about, let's do something together, you know, come on over to my side, Alex. So Steve told Alex, you know, I think we might can do something about this in a documentary form. And their goal was to have 3 interrupters. Their goal was to have a Latino, a black guy, and an African American sister. So they had already said, in their mind, their goal was that they wanted Ameena. So they would stand out in the walls like this, and they would, and I would come out of our Wednesday meetings that you guys saw and come together. That's like family. That's just like you guys are coming together after you all graduate, and you know, you all rent one of the rooms, and you all talk about issues that you all want to help solve and be a part of, and alumni, you guys still do things once a year together. That meeting for us is like that every other week. So they would always say to me, Ameena, you got a minute? And I'll say, yeah, I got a minute. And I'll be leaving, going to the parking lot. So one day, T.O. Hardeman, and T.O.'s not a, this recorded, you all taping me. T.O. is not the type of boss that you would see from that table because of the people that he have at the table. He's not that type of dude. He's a, you know, pretty boy. You can tell, right? T.O. is the pretty boy. So he kind of tried to, you know, bully me a little. Ameena, give him something. So I went home and I told my husband, which is here with me tonight, Sheikh Rashid, say hey to the brothers, sisters. So that's my husband. So I went home and I said to my husband, I said, look, T.O. told me to give them some damn stuff. I ain't giving them shit. So then I thought about it, right? I went to this hood and I kind of played with it a little bit. So I said, now look, if I give them something, it has to look like this, it has to feel like this, it has to be our story, because I've worked in with television, broadcasting. I work with news people where I would say a whole sentence and about what the issue is, and then they'll cut my stuff up and make us look like wild and crazy. It was not the way that it really went on. And you know, so I said I didn't want to deal with the camera if it's gonna be like that. So I talked to the support group in the street. I said, look, I'm gonna let these white boys come out. One of them wear police shoes, so they ain't police officers. But this would be our opportunity to tell our story. This would be our opportunity to really talk about what's going on with the unsafe feeling that they have from the police officers, or the injustice of the police officers, or how it is emotionally to be a woman growing up in the times that we're growing up. So I forgot, alhamdulillah, I'll never forget that I'm a Muslim. But then I forgot that was an issue that we all else other, I'm gonna have to address with my Muslims and my mu'mins. I'm gonna have to do that. But I forgot about that, because we're good people, that's what we do. So once I saw little bites and bits and pieces of how they put it together, I said, okay, fine, I'll continue on and we'll finish. And I was very proud of how they portrayed me in real life. Outside of, they could have beat me out a little bit, bleeped and beat, because some of those words I really didn't say, enunciate quite that way that you all heard. It was all speakers and all of that. But I'm really so grateful that Allah did set that up like that, because it was not me, it wasn't them, because I could have said no, stood on it. Or Steve could have thought about helping another African American social change issue. He could have thought about doing something else. He didn't have to think about ceasefire and us and our issues and the things that we go through, but he wanted it to be on a personal, he didn't want it to be as an organization. He wanted to really show people, you all already know about ceasefire. You already know what we do and what we're about in our organization. Well, it's Cure Violence now. We launched a new campaign. You already know what that's about, but then to find out the people that are behind the scenes or on the front lines taking the guns out of those guys' hands and saying that, you don't have to do that. So they wanted to get into a little personal part about that, and I allowed them to. It doesn't look that way, but I promise you guys, I'm a very proud person. And for them to come in and, film my children and film, it was Rashida's, at that time Rashida was, how old was Rashida then? 8, 9, turning 9? Rashida was turning 9. So we always, do skate, and we always, we kick it. We have a good time. Allah gives us, life. We wake up, alhamdulillah, we have an opportunity to take another breath, put our feet on the ground. So when it's time for celebrating life, we do. So Rashida had a birthday party, and I think she was 9 years old, and we filmed this skate scene, and that's when you seen Big Daddy back there doing his little moves. And so I'm not the skater. I'm not the skater. So we put that in the documentary because we wanted to break the monotony up of that. Even though it's the ghetto, it's still hope. That was one of the reasons why I continued on once I saw the little pieces of what was going on, because, we understand, us in this room understand coming from hard times and and our families are over in the Middle East living in hard times now still, you know, but the bottom line is that they haven't lost hope. They want some resources and they need some resources, but they haven't lost hope. They're still sending salams through emails. They're still sending, you know, through tweets, texting, Facebook, however we're able to connect from, you know, over East. There's still love there, you know, it's still hope there. Allah is still gonna make everything alhamdulillah regardless. So that's really one of the reasons. I didn't want it to be a documentary that was, oh, look at all of those black people and they're just so mean and wicked and they're killing each other and it's just, you know, shaitan and Allah's nowhere. Allah was everywhere in that. Because the conflicts that you've seen on screen, out of those conflicts that you've seen in screen that we allowed them to take, no one has lost their lives still, 2009. So, you know, subhanAllah, Allah is God. And so as I moved on, the documentary got accepted at Sundance. We finished the documentary like 10 days before Sundance was about to close the contest of being accepted. And they were like, hurry up, cut it down. At that time, I think it was like 5 hours, so you all got it. They cut it down to like 4 and a half. And I had an opportunity to take my children, coming up from where I come from, Park City, Utah, where Robert Redford do his thing. Mountains and subhanAllah, seeing Allah's hand where it's no touching, where you know, just to see the beauty of the mountains and how the snow and where the snow is not and where the snow is and how it landed, and just to see and for me to experience that, to take my children, to experience that with them, to have my family there was a blessing for me. So it has been an honor to